This is always ready, Matt Cardona, the internet champion and the host of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. But there's another podcast I want you to check out, and that is the Crash and Burn Podcast. Check it out every single episode. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like, do all that fun stuff, and you never know. Maybe one day you'll see the Crash and Burn Podcast take on the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast in the middle of the ring. And you know who's going to win? Me. Because you guys, you're not always ready. Crash and Burn!
Hello, everybody. We are starting this episode of Crash and Burn, where this is the review of the New Year's Revolution 2006. Let's bring everybody in here. First up, the Assassins here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is I, the Assassin, Josh David. Welcome back to the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. We're going back in our time machine, going back to the year of 2006. Dear God, my God, we are going back in time once again to go review New Year's Revolution 2006. This is a moment where Edge won his first WWE title from John Cena, and it's an awesome pay-per-view. And we're going to review it here for you guys tonight. So let's get started, shall we?
Next is Wyatt.
Yes, we are doing our first ever throwback pay-per-view of the year 2022. We are reviewing a really, really good pay-per-view, and that is New Year's Revolution 2006, which main evented with one of my all-time favorite Elimination Chamber matches, and probably one of my favorite all-time Money in the Bank, probably one of my favorite Money in the Bank cash-in of all time, along with Randy Orton's at SummerSlam 2013. So we will get to that later in the episode. But this was actually a really good pay-per-view. I'm glad I picked this one out. It's always good to start a year with a New Year's Revolution, and that should have been the true name instead of WWE Day 1. So, we've had a lot of fun matches that night, and let's get this thing rolling, and let's pass it to the next person.
And that one will be passed to the sleeping fuck.
The sleeping shit.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to a newest episode of the Crash and fucking Burn Wrestling Podcast. And today we're reviewing New Year's Revolution.
New York's Revolution? What?
No, we're here to review the New Year's fucking Revolution. And
Somebody's very hyper for this episode.
yeah, I drank a good goddamn soda.
Even though you weren't a fan that time.
Yeah, and I was like 1 year old.
Hey, AJ, look who's on my TV.
I was actually 7 months, not a year old. Sorry.
Okay, we're not trying to get into your personal stories. Let's get to the matches.
Yes, please.
Hello, Tom Phillips. Welcome back to wrestling.
Yes.
Oh.
Welcome to Impact Wrestling, Tom Phillips. All
right, for real, Bill, congrats for him.
Perfect timing to start off with Rickler defeating Edge.
Who defeating Edge?
Ric Flair defeated Edge by disqualification.
Yes.
How
How about you start off, Wyatt?
Okay, what did I think of the match?
Yep.
I thought the match was not bad. I mean, I understand why it started off the show, because Edge did something later that night, which we're gonna get to. I really thought, the spots were great in the match, especially, Ric Flair's spots like he does in pay-per-views. Of course, when Edge flips Ric Flair over, Ric Flair lands on a bad spot, or that was definitely one of my favorite feuds at the time. I do remember when Edge dressed up and was Ric Flair on an episode of Raw when Edge was in the middle of the highway in East Rutherford, New Jersey, which is the shadow of New York City. I do remember Edge dressed up as Ric Flair in the middle of the freaking highway, wooing and stuff, and putting the car in front of him in the figure four, the guy in the car in front of him in the figure four leg lock. But back to the match itself, I do remember, especially the fact when Ric Flair was on the top rope, poked Edge in the eye, and then poked Lita in the eye as well. Edge getting knocked out, and then Lita getting tossed over, put in the figure four, and then Edge saves Lita by whacking Ric Flair with the briefcase, and Ric Flair literally had fucking blood dripped all over his goddamn face, and Ric Flair was just out of it.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you go ahead, you sleepy fuck?
A sleepyhead.
I thought this match was not bad at all. Yeah, I feel like a DQ is not the best finish to a match because it's unfair to everyone's advantage. But at least it was a good match, though. But I definitely enjoyed both of these guys at the time.
Did you even see the match, or are you just saying that?
I saw the match.
Okay.
You didn't see the match.
Oh, be quiet, JR. All right. The man who has his hat backwards, I don't know who he is. Go ahead.
That'll be me. Anyways, so watching this back a few years later, I wasn't a fan of wrestling in 2006, but I remember they showed this on, some Raws and SmackDowns, because it's one of the most, not really this match, but the pay-per-view is one of the most iconic in WWE. But I remember, watching this match, and it was a interesting one. I mean, Ric Flair always has a trick up his sleeve, and something will, come up and happen. But the match was solid. These are two of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, and they're American.
And two Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
regardless. But this match was great overall, honestly. It was good. Started off the show.
It was a good match. Moving on.
Solid, though, but the finish it could have been better back then.
It was a good match. I liked it. Trish Stratus defeated Mickie James.
Ooh.
Be quiet. We know Sammy Guevara's here.
Oh, you watched the
AEW.
Sorry. Justin Roberts, I believe your name is. But I'm too busy here. Go ahead, Wyatt.
Wait, what?
I should go to watch right now.
Go ahead on the match.
I actually thought it was a good match. That was the beginning of the storyline of Trish Stratus and Mickie James, because Mickie James began starting in WWE as becoming a mark for Trish Stratus, acting like a huge fan of hers, all excited and shit. Mickie James got crazy over her because Trish Stratus couldn't handle it no more. Especially the fact, when Mickie James had a match against Victoria and was a number one contenders match, Mickie James makes the win. And then especially on a Christmas episode of Raw, Mickie James ended up kissing Trish Stratus under a mistletoe. Weirdly.
Oh.
And
as I
also,
sit here,
what?
As I sat here and smiled, I don't know why.
I bet you
But
like to see that hot left.
That's just too nice. But go ahead, Wyatt. Finish up.
That match happened, it had some good spot. It really did have some good spots. But it was Mickie James was happy whatever or not she won or lost, but especially the best part of the match was when Trish Stratus delivers the chick kick and then pins Mickie James as you have a good sight of Mickie James's ass. So there's not much to it.
Oof.
I'm going to skip AJ since he didn't see the match. Josh.
No, AJ should give
honestly,
his thoughts on it.
Let AJ go first.
No, let Josh go, and then AJ will have a better idea.
Okay.
Let Josh go.
It was a good match. That's my take.
It was a solid match. This is the part in wrestling where we were getting to know Mickie James. This is actually, a lot of people do think that oh, Mickie James came into WWE like around 2007 or 2008. No, she was in WWE for years.
Since
Like-
2005.
Right. Like she's been around longer. Yeah. But, you know, these two had an amazing feud back in the day. You know, 2006, you know, these two had an amazing feud, like I said, but like the things and the shit they used to pull, you don't see that nowadays. You don't see it
No.
anymore. That's what was good about it, because you go back and you look at the stuff and you watch the stuff and it's so fucking good. But honestly, it was a great feud and a great match. All I'm gonna say right there.
Like,
was a
it
good
just
match.
doesn't make sense the way the women were back in the day.
Right.
They can't act like that now.
Yeah, because of the fucking PG era. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
we're
No,
right.
and all the sensitive people on social media and such.
Yep.
And, you know, and the way the world is.
And unfortunately, we're
Go
not
right
gonna
ahead, AJ, whenever
get
you're ready.
hot action.
Let AJ talk. It's not your show, Jason.
I know. That's why I told him to go.
All right, stop for a second. All right. Unfortunately, when we don't see this stuff anymore because we're not gonna see any more hot lesbian action for you marks. Anyway,
Shit.
this match was actually good. I did like this rivalry because at first Mickie was like this big fan of Stratus,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden
Quote
she
unquote.
for her, and then she got like psychotic for her, and then basically had a match, right? And then yeah, they went at it. Good match. Good rivalry. We don't see this shit nowadays. Like, what happened to the long-term rivalries, man? These rivalries are shit now in WWE. Jeez, WWE needs some notes. But anyways,
Oh hell yeah.
good match. Definitely. Wait, who defeated who in this match? Trish defeated Mickie James.
Yep.
Yeah, Trish
Yeah,
defeated
Trish.
me.
Oh,
Trish
okay. All right. But I would have loved for like Mickie to get the win to like further up, but I mean maybe not, but I mean good for Trish getting revenge on her because she is a psychotic bitch.
Trish was the right one to win that match.
Yeah, I think I agree with you now. Yeah,
Trish.
got the win. Congrats to her, and yeah, let's move on to the next match. Whoops. Might as well get on AEW on now.
I liked the match, and it had good storylines. Oh, I didn't realize I was muted.
Don't go bad. You're muted.
Jerry Lawler defeated Gregory Helms.
What? Jerry Lawler? Jeez.
How about you go
Oh,
first,
that makes me
AJ?
smile.
Wait.
Go first, AJ.
That's
I'm watching
a
Battle of the
I
Bells.
never expected to hear. Jerry Lawler in 2006 competing against Gregory fucking Helms.
That's why he wasn't on commentary till later in the show.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, that's smart. But wow. I would have preferred Jerry Lawler to lose to Gregory Helms because that would actually motivated him. Like, that would be motivated Gregory Helms to be a star in WWE. Like, I feel like Shane Helms / Gregory Helms / Hurricane is the most underrated wrestler in the company.
Hurricane, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because like I understand he didn't get too much bookings from WWE, but I feel like the character went good. Like he could have won like a mid-card championship to like further up his character because he's building up. But I understand why they put him in lower card because like I don't know, but he like when he was Hurricane at the time, he was a lower card guy pretty much. He was just to be a superhero. Like Kalisto, for example, like and it's like another guy with a mask. And with Gregory Helms, I would have loved for like for his heel persona to like rise up even more. I would rather have him win than Jerry Lawler at the time, but I really wish that Greg actually won that match. But good for Jerry Lawler, man. Good because He's a legend, obviously, and Gregory wasn't his prime at the time, so yeah, good match.
Wyatt.
I mean, I thought the match was very solid. Decent motivation between these two. I mean, I really didn't like the fact that they really switched the Hurricane to Gregory Helms because, all honest, it makes me upsetting that WWE would scrap one of the most entertaining characters I've ever seen, which is the Hurricane, which is that superhero. It just makes me disappointed that they would scrap that character out and just make him to a normal wrestler, Gregory Helms, which I would have preferred a heel version of the Hurricane, in my opinion. That actually
like where he was a villain, kind of.
Yeah, like where he could be a supervillain.
Yeah,
I would have, cool. And that would have worked perfectly. But no, they wanted to scrap up the Hurricane and him and Rosie to split up from a tag team. So
and it did nothing until he got released. I'm assuming.
What?
Until like Rosie got released, like not even like longer after, like he was just a lower card guy sitting there, and then just
that's right,
pretty much got released, and now he's no longer with us. Rest in peace, Rosie. We miss you, buddy.
Rest in peace, Rosie.
We miss you, Rosie.
Back to what I was talking about for the match. I mean, it really did well. Jerry Lawler winning was the right way to go. So yeah, it was good. Good also to see Jerry the King Lawler on commentary for the rest of the night and backstage. I do remember when Maria was interviewing herself about being in that bra and panties gauntlet, which we're going to get into later in the show. And I remember Gregory Helms walking up to her saying, "You know what? After I beat Jerry Lawler, don't expect him to say during your match, puppies, puppies, puppies."
Yeah. Oh. Man, that era was
who hasn't won here?
And that person has to be Josh.
Okay, from what I heard, Jerry Lawler defeating Gregory Helms. What on earth? I mean, I may have not been a fan at the time, but what the fuck? Come on. I agree with Wyatt. The Hurricane was one of WWE's most entertaining characters. Probably of all time, I could say. Like, one of the most entertaining characters that we've seen in many years. I would love the Hurricane to come back and stuff, but when he was just, going under his name, Gregory Helms, it really didn't grab much attention to the fans as they did for the Hurricane character, because fans knew him very well as the Hurricane. I mean, but really, you have to put the legends over the new talent. Come on. But honestly, the match could have been better in my opinion.
Not the best match of the card. That's all I have.
It was shit.
I have Triple H defeating Paul White in the next one. The American, Josh Danker, go ahead.
Oh, I am American now. So
the American
Triple H defeating No More Bullshit or something. Since it's No More BS. Or no more. Surprising that Triple H, took on a guy not even his size, but guys that take on people half their size, I have a lot of respect. So it was a decent match. I wouldn't say it wasn't another best match on the card, but still solid. It was American.
Oh, you're bringing that here? Okay. Go right ahead, Wyatt.
Yeah, Triple H and Big Show are probably one of the I think Triple H versus Big Show is probably a very, very underrated match to see, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, Triple H and the Big Show, the build up to this, especially, it was the qualifiers for the Elimination Chamber match. Triple H screwed Big Show over after Big Show had a match against Shawn Michaels, and Triple H whacked Michaels with the chair, and Triple H had a match against Kane to qualify. And then what happens then? Big Show and Kane double chokes on Triple H when the ref's knocked down, and that makes Kane victorious, and that makes him advance. But Triple H and the Big Show, I do remember Triple H used a sledgehammer and broke Big Show's hands, and with the steel steps, and then Big Show had to wrestle with a giant cast on that night because knowing how bad the injury was, and it was really hard for Big Show to wrestle with the cast on. But very, very, very deep, very good match for them two here at New Year's Revolution. So yeah, and I do, especially when Triple H takes the cast off and you see like the bruises on Big Show's hand, knowing how much Big Show is struggling through here. And when Triple H was about to pull the sledgehammer out, Big Show literally used his broken bad hand and breaking the sledgehammer in half. And Triple H, really tried to work on the hands of the Big Show. Big Show accidentally slaps the ref and accidentally knocks the ref down by trying to accidentally slaps the ref in the chest, knocks the ref down. Big Show and Triple H whacks the other one half part of the sledgehammer on the Big Show. Pedigree 1, 2, 3. Triple H wins.
Yep.
A pretty good match here. I like the storytelling here. So yeah, AJ.
You love the storytelling.
Yeah.
You're damn right.
Great storytelling.
I'm just gonna say that for every take.
I think this match was actually good. Like, I don't know how much people do not appreciate like Big Show versus Triple H matches because they're really underrated, like Wyatt said. Like, these guys had a good rivalry like back in the day, and like not a lot of people talk about it today because like these guys been going at it since like the Attitude Era and shit. So yeah, but overall this match was good, and Big Show's hand got injured. Like, oh my god, I did not want to be Big Show. Like, to be if I was Big Show that night, I would have just stayed home, literally.
That's being a pussy, AJ.
All right, no, I'm not.
Yeah, like staying home
I
on
would-
your ass is
You know what?
being...
I was kidding. I'm not gonna be a bitch. I'm just gonna go ahead, just knock some people out with my broken hand, and then go to the doctor next day or something. But anyways, this match was good.
Okay, so
Are you
the
watching
next
the
match.
right now, Jason?
I'm watching Battle of the Belts while doing this.
Same
Yep.
here.
So,
Battle
so
of the
if I'm looking here, viewers, if I'm looking here, it means I'm watching Battle of the Belts that AEW's doing.
The special pay-per-view
Oh,
show.
nice.
Shelton Benjamin defeated Viscera. If
Did
that's how
Josh
you...
go?
Oh, Viscera.
Hey Josh, have you went?
What, for the last match?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Then there's your answer. So
Viscera.
Shelton Benjamin defeated Viscera.
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 Machine.
Okay.
Viscera, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, and go ahead, Wyatt.
Oh man, I do. That actually wasn't one of the scheduled matches to happen that night. But as of that, I did it all started, when Shelton Benjamin and Mama Benjamin were, down at the arena, were down arriving to Albany to stop by. Then and then what happens is Mama Benjamin finds Shelton Benjamin something good because she's trying to, make her son tough. So, as of that, Mama Benjamin, and goes through food, and then Viscera comes out, and Viscera gets all flirty and nasty with her. Then she snaps. Then she wants to say that wants Shelton to have a match against him. Come out, They have a match. Literally, Mama Benjamin literally screams her lungs out and never quits talking during that match. With Shelton Benjamin and Viscera, they really brawl it out for 7 minutes. Really good. Shelton Benjamin, very underrated, built competitor. Shelton Benjamin was the right guy to win that match. with Viscera, I think this was probably Viscera's best character, the Love Machine. Even though Viscera's finisher, he humps on he slaps his opponent's ass and really humps on his opponent and lays on top of him. Literally, Viscera's character literally drew. Especially when Viscera's had his love storyline with Lillian Garcia.
Oh my God.
But if you didn't know, Mama Benjamin was on Mama Benjamin was on some movies and TV shows on like More Funny Woman, the show called Thea, also Tom and Jerry as well. So that's pretty cool. And Comedy's Dirty's Dozen. So yeah, Mama Benjamin's also a TV actress.
Which her real name should be.
Is her real name's Thea Vidal.
Yeah.
Good storytelling. Go ahead, Josh.
It's because you never watched the match, buddy.
Yeah.
So Shelton Benjamin against Viscera.
Okay.
I remember the feud. I remember like Shelton Benjamin was very big into the 2000s, and Shelton Benjamin really he was always one of my favorites. Lucas.
Hey, Luke.
So,
Hey-o.
I mean, Shelton Benjamin, he really deserved, that win, and I just thought the match was good in general.
Lucas, New Year's Revolution 2006.
I know.
Talking about Shelton Benjamin defeating Viscera.
Oh boy.
You go ahead.
Wait, is this the first match? The opening match?
No. It's just the
Okay.
one we just talked about.
Oh. Okay, I'll just go. Benjamin, at that time, I feel like he could have been legitimate world champion. I figure around that time, he could have been honest world champion. So it's kind of cool to him that Intercontinental Championship, but I feel like for him, I think he's top 5 Intercontinental champions of all time, in my opinion. Because how that's held that title and had great matches, and man, WWE has dropped the ball on ever since, man. It just really sucks. But the match was all right. I mean, with the thing of Viscera, he had a bunch of gimmicks, and I think I have respect for him. RIP to him. Did he die? Did he die? Did Viscera die?
Yeah, Viscera died in 2014 from a heart attack.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, RIP to him. Like, he had so many good gimmicks. I definitely liked the London Ministry. And I think the match was all right. Not the usual Intercontinental Championship match, I guess, but hey, it was good for what it was.
You want me to catch Lucas up?
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, first match was Ric Flair defeated Edge by disqualification for the Intercontinental Championship.
Didn't it have a rivalry?
Yes. That was the rivalry when Edge dressed up as Ric Flair in the middle of the highway on the East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Yes, that's what it was. And the disqualification, I think, was it a chair shot?
No, Edge whacked him with the briefcase after Ric Flair put Lita in the figure 4.
Yeah, that happened at some that was used somewhere else, but we're not getting into that just a moment. But I feel with that rivalry, I think that rivalry was very underrated. I think Edge around the 2000s had great rivalries with Cena, Flair, Taker. Not right. DX as well was Rated RKO. I think with that match though, I think that was all right for it was. Hey, it was a disqualification, but hey, it was a good rivalry. I think with that, I think those two definitely have a great kind of chemistry with each other. Like Flair selling blood and Edge is being Edge. So yeah.
All right. Trish Stratus defeated Mickie James to retain the Women's Championship.
Oh, is this the rivalry they had back in WrestleMania?
Yep. Yeah, this was before WrestleMania.
Oh, this is Mickie James was basically
psychotic.
Raging bisexual, I guess. But I don't know. But basically, I love that Mickie James gimmick when she was psychotic. Like it was one of my favorite gimmicks that Mickie James has done. And the match though was actually pretty cool. I think
their WrestleMania 22 match was a bit better in my opinion. But at the same time, this match has been awesome. So, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Jerry the King Lawler defeated Gregory Helms.
What was the point? I'm gonna say. What was the point?
All right. You'll have more to say on this one. Triple H defeated the Big Show.
Oh, is that when Big Show broke his hand by Triple H?
Yes.
Oh man, and Big Show didn't have that choke slam hand. He had an alternate choke slam, I believe. I remember that. I remember that rivalry when Triple H was basically on his Ring of Terror, basically. My God, I thought that match was pretty cool. I think that's probably one of probably better Triple H matches of his Ring of Terror when he was basically, I'm gonna beat everybody. Get the back every time I want to get it. And I feel with that match, I think it was cool for what it was. And with Big Show having selling his broken hand with that sledgehammer, I think that was cool that he sold that, and I think that memory of my mind of that was awesome. So yeah.
All right, so he's officially caught up. You good here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think for the Shelton Benjamin match, AJ, you have not gone yet.
No, I haven't.
But
Match was good because obviously Viscera is the bigger man here, and Benjamin was the rising athlete. And Viscera has been in with the WWE like before this gimmick a few times. Like I don't know how many times, but he was fired and then rehired and fired again and then brought back. I don't know, but anyways, but this, all right, Viscera right here. I feel like people appreciate him a lot. I feel like he was really underutilized, like in WWE, because like he had so many gimmicks, like King Mabel, Viscera from the Ministry of Darkness, and then the world's largest machine, and then Big Daddy V. I personally, my favorite gimmick out of it is definitely either the Love Machine or Big Daddy V, because I mean Big Daddy V, like when he's there, he was kind of getting clunky and all that stuff, but I feel like he could have done a lot more with that.
Yeah, Big Daddy V was managed by Matt Stryker.
Yeah, I feel like that gimmick could have done a lot more.
It was very flopped.
Yeah,
Okay.
but definitely definitely underutilized wrestler. Both men quite competitive, especially Viscera for a big guy. And plus Benjamin getting a win, yeah, and he had Benjamin at the time, which was kind of alright. It was kind of annoying. It was cool at first, and then it got annoying, and then they obviously took her out because of her acting issues, I'm assuming. So, anyways, match, and let's move on.
Yeah, I think the Love Machine was probably Viscera's best gimmick.
I think that's yeah. I actually kind of agree on that.
I think it is.
Near that Ministry one or Ministry one and that Love Guru is very close. I love the Ministry one in my opinion.
The Ministry wasn't too bad, but I don't think it beats the Love gimmick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the when he humped Matt Hardy.
I think that was right. Wasn't that on an episode of Raw?
That was the Royal Rumble.
Oh, the Royal Rumble.
When
who was Lita and Matt Hardy?
Yeah, Mr. was getting down. He was getting down with it.
so nonetheless, this next match, I think Wyatt's gonna start simping. This is a Brawl and Panties Gauntlet match.
Yes.
Oh no.
This features the late great Ashley Mazzaro.
Yes,
rest in peace.
Defeating Candice Michelle, Maria, Tori Wilson, and Victoria.
Ooh.
How about we start out with Wyatt here, so he can start getting hard first.
And start sticking up for this stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Yes, rest in peace, late great Ashley Massaro. We're making you fucking proud because reviewing this match because you won. But to the match here, I think this was when Maria went from an interview becoming a wrestler. I really freaking enjoyed this match. It all started with Maria and Candice Michelle. Maria takes her clothes off, bra and panties, she's out. Maria comes out with Tori Wilson, which Tori Wilson turns into a heel. Honestly, Tori Wilson as a heel was very, very forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so used to Tori Wilson being a face. Here comes Maria, takes her clothes, gets her bra and panties, she's out. There comes Maria with Victoria. Maria fails the job. Maria looked damn like a snack that night walking out. And then you had Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah coming out. And literally, Mae Young oh my God. And literally, Mae Young comes out. What?
She
literally comes out, gets the lights start turning down, and Mae Young literally takes her clothes off and strips in her bra and panties. It literally has these fake nipples on her bra.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about Mae Young.
Yeah.
Kind of shit.
Yeah, like literally, I thought that was freaking good until Victoria knocked down until she knocked down Mae Young, but Mae was literally got good to get back up to her feet here. And I think I found the part.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh God!
Oh no!
No! My God!
This is good
What
shit.
the fuck is this bullshit?
Well,
And
there.
literally, and then here comes Ashley Massaro, the legend herself. And literally, I remember before Ashley came out, I do remember when Mae literally jumps on Victoria trying to rip her shirt off and ends up trying to rip her bra off.
Oh yes! I forgot about that.
and then once Mae and Moolah leave, here comes Ashley Massaro, gets the job done. She wins. Really unreal that WWE doesn't let us have this because of all these stupid idiots on social media and all these marks and stuff. This is like, dude, this is what the reason we can't have this no more is because people take this shit too serious.
And
Like literally,
EG era.
AJ, no talking over people. AJ said
American.
Like, dude, this is what the ladies are getting freaking paid for. No matter Tori Wilson made it on the fucking cover of a Playboy magazine. Like, dude, like if they didn't want it, they're not getting forced to do this. I'm sure they had to get offered or asked if they wanted to do this before actually performing it in front of thousands of people in a crowd. Like, like this is why we can't have this shit. Like, this is what the women were getting paid for. No matter, I say this again, no matter we can't get the fucking dancers got took off of Raw Underground because people got too butthurt and too serious about this.
Yeah, they got butthurt because they were stripped.
The dancers, that's what they were getting paid for doing. Like, Liv Morgan even defended the dancers on social media saying, hey, where's the dancers? Like, she didn't care.
Yeah.
But, like, no one cares what you think. It's what the fans...
Yeah, but it was all freaking Medusa's fault for having them take them off TV.
Go right ahead, Josh.
Who Medusa is?
Medusa for that.
Honestly,
I'll never respect her ever again.
Honestly, the shit we have today with, bullshit. It's fucking annoying. Like, we had bra and panties matches back in the day, and that's what people enjoyed. Now, like, you see why people are switching over to other companies like Impact, New Japan, AEW, and such. Or maybe going to watch more indie wrestling. But...
They had time.
Hey!
Whoa, no way! Blake,
No way!
Wait, what? What? Wait,
Oh
hold
Oh,
shit!
hi.
Wait, am I fucking hallucinating? Am I high again?
No, you're not.
We
He's
have a return.
back.
What are you doing here? What's up?
Oh man, I decided to hop on, since I had time to.
This
Okay.
is New Year's
Revolution.
Revolution 2006.
All right,
I don't know if you saw it before, but you're here.
all right, man. Hope I'm not too late.
Yeah,
Not too late.
But as I was
Not
saying,
too late.
what we had back then was so much better than the shit we have now. You realize a lot of people realize now that watching WWE back then is, it brings back a lot, and it actually, this is what people enjoyed. And I feel like, this match, Ashley Mazzaro, rest in peace. Her life was taken from her too soon.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think everybody enjoys WWE back then, not so much now. But yeah, this match was good. Honestly, this is what people want to see and enjoy. This is what they want. Honestly.
This was a good TV 14 match and one of the best I remember. So go right ahead, Lucas.
Okay, so I'll agree with Wyatt. I think basically the generation that we're in right now. I think they honestly ruined it because of very sensitive they are. Because back then we didn't care about it, but now it's just like a lot of people have gone like very sensitive about, which I understand at a standpoint. But if you make something bad, like a probably better, then you know what, just I can stop. Also, I feel like at the same time, it's kind of is a blessing because the quality of like matches are whatever like that. That's just probably me. But to the match, I remember this for some reason because I watched it when I was very young. Don't ask why. But I remember clearly of Mae Young. Oh my God, I forgot Mae Young was in there. My God, a scar for life. But I think what kind of like with Ashley, I think she was probably one with underrated like females of all time. Like she definitely like probably should have a title if I would have booked anything. Like she should have definitely had a title. And the match overall was alright for what it was. Not my usual taste of things, but hey, it's good for what it was. That's all I
AJ.
say.
Yeah, this is not my usual type of match, but it's a
You
good
enjoyed it
way,
anyway.
but it's a good way to like electrify the crowd. I mean, we don't see this shit anymore because like people get sensitive on Twitter because
Yeah.
it's like
Stupid.
okay. I used to thought that like it's because the PG era, but like when I realized it, it's not just because the PG era. There's a lot more into it. We just don't see these anymore and bra and panties matches. But I mean, I'm okay with the women like competing in a ring because they're getting a lot better and they're treated like the men are doing too. But I feel like this match really like hyped up the crowd a lot more to the point like they're gonna increase ratings. I feel like they do these type of matches just to like boost up the ratings at the time, but it was good. It was a good Braun and Perry's matches. They had some competitive stuff in there, but
Because
then
it's entertainment.
at the match you just had to strip like someone's like clothes and then leave bra and panties and that's it. But at least they didn't get stripped naked, which is good. Anyways, but this match was good. Good for Ashley Mazzaro. Ashley won in the match. Rest in peace. We miss you, Ashley. And all the competitors there are really talented people. And Candice Michelle when she was like women's champion, I feel like she was she was an alright champion. Tori Wilson, she was just there for Playboy stuff, like occasionally like competes there, but definitely a good match. All these girls that are in that match are fucking legends, including Mae Young, who she's been around to from the, I believe, the
Another
50s,
novel.
I feel like from the 50s and 60s. I don't know. Comment on below when did Mae Young been around for, like, in the wrestling world. I feel like she's been there for a very long time. Like,
Moolah?
no,
Well,
Mae Young.
well, I
I
think
they've
she's been there
around
since
at
like
the
the
same time,
70s or
but Moolah
60s.
had a 20-year title reign.
Yeah, and then like Jerry Lawler. What was Jerry Lawler on commentator for this match?
Oh yes, he was.
Oh, he was.
And
You
let
know
me
him.
guess. And let me guess. He probably just say, "Ah, the puppies!" From
Yeah,
the
Probably.
Yep. Especially when Mae Young took her jacket off, he was like, ah!
He probably got
and-
excited.
But this match was good, man. Good match.
Now,
You think we should
Blake,
catch Blake up here and what's up?
It's up to
Catch
him.
up.
Puppies!
Wait, shut up.
This was a bra and panties match. Ashley Mazzaro, Candice, Michelle, Maria, Tori Wilson, and Victoria.
Wait, what?
Oh man,
Okay. And would you like us to catch you up, or should we just keep going?
We want to catch him up.
yeah,
It's up to him. So you say yes to that?
Yeah. we can keep going.
Okay, so keep going or catch up. Which one do you want?
Keep going.
All right. So he chooses keep going. All right. So you might as well just move on to the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship.
Yes.
This featured John Cena defeating Carlito, Chris Masters, Shawn Michaels, Kane, and Kurt Angle. All right. So how about you go ahead? Since you chose to keep going, Blake.
Yo, what's up?
So what are your thoughts on the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship?
Wait, so who was in it?
John Cena defeating Carlito,
Okay.
Chris Masters, Shawn Michaels, Kane, and Kurt Angle.
I think John Cena was the right guy to win the match to make him look strong going into Mania. Even So yeah, basically.
I can agree with that there. Wyatt?
You know what? I think you know what? No, the match after I'm gonna go last. My thoughts on the match. I really thought this was one of my all-time favorite Elimination Chamber matches, especially, you did have some great spots in it. You did have Shawn Michaels and John Cena starting off the match. Then Carlito enters the match. Then Kurt Angle enters the match. Then Chris Masters enters the match. Then Kane enters the match. Carlito and Chris Masters agreed to working together and to leave it down to them two, but it all fails. As Kane, as Carlito, as Kurt Angle was eliminated first by Shawn Michaels, as Kurt Angle is putting the ankle lock on the Cena. Shawn Michaels sweet chin music, Kurt Angle knocks him out. 1, 2, 3, gets Kurt Angle out. Kane gets laid down on the ground as Chris Masters and Carlito both lay on top of Kane. 1, 2, 3. Back goes Kane. Shawn Michaels gets out by a swinging neck breaker by Carlito. Carlito, 1, 2, 3. And then there goes Chris Masters. And Chris Masters and Carlito work together as they try to get Cena out. They fail as Carlito rolls over. Pins Masters, 1, 2, 3. Cena goes for a schoolboy. Pins Carlito, 1, 2, 3. And if you didn't know, very proud of Carlito by saying this. Carlito scored the most eliminations in that match.
Really?
And that was 3 eliminations.
Wow.
Sheesh.
I
never knew that.
That's
Good
great.
for him.
Yeah.
All right. Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, this match honestly was, something, you know, of course John Cena was big in '06. He was one of the top guys, as well as Carlito, HBK, and the others in this match. Of course, we all knew Cena was going to come out with the win because John Cena was, the top guy. He was kind of like the guy, the face of the company at that time. Um, Honestly, it was a good elimination. Impressive by Carlito, and yeah, it was just an impressive match.
Mhm.
This was an impressive match. I liked all the competitors here. Very talented people. And John Cena is the right person to win this.
Yep.
Lucas, you're raising your hand. Go ahead.
Yep. I'm going to one other parts in the match, and this is when Cornelio started suplexing everybody when he came out. He was ready to go. Like he suplex Carlito, suplex Michaels, and suplex Cena, and he was all fired up. It's surprising he was the first one eliminated. That's just crazy. That is, Carlito had 3 elimination. That's just crazy. But Cena in '06, he was a big star. He basically was reached his peak in '05, and he was just basically dominant. In '06 is basically, I personally think his peak here, in my opinion, because he had great matches with Triple H and matches. I think Shawn was '07, I think. But he was just in his peak around that time, and he definitely proved that he's like, hey, I'm still the top guy. No matter what you throw at me, I'm still the top guy. And a lot of people try to replicate that, like Rowan, for example, for this, they try to replicate that, like him being the top guy. But, I'm going to be honest, you cannot beat Cena in '06 to '07. I'm sorry, Roman. I love you. I do. I respect you and everything like that. But you can't beat John Cena '06 to '07 because he was the top guy. You're just there because that's on to you.
And 2005.
Edge in '05, he was getting to his peak, but when Edge reached his peak, I think it was in '08, in my opinion.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Cena.
Yeah. Cena was '06, and Edge was probably '08, in my opinion.
Right.
So, AJ, go ahead and start your novel.
All right. This Elimination Chamber match was a great match. Like, these guys went
All right,
at it. Even Big Show had a broken hand. Wait, was he in the Elimination Chamber? I think he was.
No.
Oh, fuck.
No.
Damn,
and
guy.
guys killed it, and definitely, I feel like Carlito was. I feel like Carlito would have been a world champion because he was a great heel during the Ruthless Aggression era, and John Cena was in his peak in 2005 and continued next 2 years 2006. And then Cena had been dominating WWE for a decade, until he got moved on to Hollywood and stuff, which I feel like is an okay move. Not my favorite move out of it. I would have loved him to become an Intercontinental Champion today, but this match was actually pretty good. I feel like this was a good Elimination Chamber, and some consider it the greatest Elimination Chamber of all time, which I agree.
I'm surprised that wasn't a novel,
Elimination
AJ.
Chamber, in my opinion, is probably the one where Jeff Hardy does Swanton Bomb with I think it was a Big Show. I think it was the one with Show, Triple H, and Cena. I think that was 2008, I believe.
2008 when Jeff did the Swanton on Big Show, that was '09 with Triple H winning the world title, and Edge was out first when Edge was the current
Wait, what's
champion.
that in the Elimination Chamber match where he swan bomb?
I think it was oh yeah, it was '09.
It was
early
09.
'09, but one of those two is definitely one of my favorites. I just like the ending sequence of Cena, Triple H, and Hardy. So yeah.
So, yeah. Want to get to the last match.
Here we go. Cash in,
The
baby.
aftermath of the chamber.
So, this was a cash-in match. Edge cashed in successfully against John Cena to become the WWE Champion. Close out the show. Now, this was a good way to close out the show. Edge is the right one to win to make him look stronger, and it's a well-deserved win. A very well-done cash-in match, especially at a good time. All right, Blake.
All right, man. This was an awesome moment in WWE history because I think have Edge going out there and spear the shit out of John Cena to beat him 2-3. I think that made Edge's career go up way up high, you know. So I think this was a good victory. I think this was the right decision, even though John Cena won the WWE Championship and retained, or did he retain it or
He retained.
he retained? So yeah, it was time for a new champion. We didn't want to see that. I know he was powerful and all in 06 and 07, but we didn't want to see that forever. And you know, Edge was the top guy, and that's what he is today.
Okay.
All right. Luke Skywalker.
Yes. So, I
Luke,
definitely say that was the first cat week, if I'm not mistaken. And the way how they did it, man, that was awesome. But the way they did that and execute that was perfectly how it was supposed to be done first time. That shocking moment Edge kicked out when John Cena kicked out the first spear, that was shocking. I know my shocking kick out, because we probably just be done just like that. But so see, it's like, well, I got a little bit left in the tank. But it took another spear, 1, 2, 3, 1 cash ins, in my opinion. Besides Rollins and Ziggler, which is right up there. And with that, I think that cash in is like shows like, hey, there's another opportunity going on. I can do well with this thing. So I like how with Edge, like, legit became the ultimate opportunist on this day. No pun intended. But yeah, definitely one of the greatest moments I think in wrestling history cashed in, and that's on forever in his career, because that's when Edge went to his peak.
Josh.
yeah, this was another moment. This was a moment that, that will go down in wrestling history as one of the greatest. Edge just speared the shit out of John Cena. John Cena all bloody after that brutal match, and then Edge comes out with the briefcase. And honestly, I actually like this was Edge's first title that he ever won, so that holds a special place in his career. So it was a great way to close out the show, to have Edge win, and then start the Rated R era. So, yeah, one of my favorite moments of that night.
The author, go right ahead.
Oh man, this was stupendous moment, fantastic moment, man.
Wait, AJ, you were just doing this. Standing
Oh,
ovation.
dude, keep it PG here, man.
All right. Anyways, but this was the best fucking cash-in I ever seen. Great moment from Edge. Definitely rised him up as a big star that WWE had. Like, for years, he was a fucking mid-carder, and now he was a world.
That was like the rise.
Like, dude, how the hell did he do it? He was, oh my god, he was so good in the mic. He was good in the ring. Definitely had a lot of potential, and we knew he had potential, and that's why he became world champion. And now he's a rated R superstar Edge that we all know of because that cash in, because he really elevated himself ever since. Because Edge is one of those greatest superstars of all time during the Ruthless Aggression era and the Attitude era as well, because he was in a tag team with Christian, which that was good too. But Edge is a world champion. Marvelous, stupendous, fantastic, great moment.
Damn,
Great.
AJ. I'm surprised that was not even a novel.
Yeah. I kind of ran out of things I said, so go right ahead.
Anyway, so Wyatt, you requested to go last, so go right ahead.
Yes, I really thought, in my opinion, it was probably one of the top best Money in the Bank cash-ins of all time. Even though it's the first one, it gives me goosebumps right when Vince McMahon comes out saying, "This individual is cashing in his Money in the Bank contract." And here comes Edge and Lita coming out to the ring, and Edge comes out, spears Cena. It takes him like 2 or 3 spears to get him done with. And, you had Cena with blood literally dripping all over his face. And, I thought that was the great way to end the show. And, that made Edge's career go up. And that made Edge a true A-plus player, in my opinion. Edge and Cena, that began their historic rivalry, but I think Edge kind of dropped the belt too soon, especially at the Rumble. But, I understand that happened because, Edge had that match at WrestleMania against Mick Foley months later. But as of that, I really didn't. I thought it was too soon for Edge to drop the title, like, literally later that month. But, I definitely what Edge and Cena, definitely one of the greatest rivalries in the 21st century with them. And, Edge, with Edge cashing in, Edge was the right guy to be to become the first person to ever cash in a Money in the Bank contract. And, you had to do something like that to end the show because you had no other choice. I feel like it had to happen. But in my opinion, I think that shows, and I think, all honest, I think Edge is better than John Cena.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
And after that moment,
and also later, that led to Edge and Lita having a live sex celebration.
Here we go.
Right.
Oh my God.
AJ.
Damn.
Yeah, they were getting all.
Damn.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's
So I guess
Don't
we can get
cancel
the
me for
Now
rankings.
that was the elevator of his career.
Why? How would you rate the show?
I'm gonna rate it a 9 out of 10.
You know what? Same here. 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna rate it a 10. Rated a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
All right. Well, I am iffy on one match, but other than that, I'll give this a 9 out of 10 just because of that one match. Blake, how would you rate the entire show?
I pretty much enjoyed it all when I first watched it. I'd give it like 9 out of 10.
Josh?
Honestly, despite the one match, I'm not gonna bitch over it. I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Luke, go right ahead.
For me, oh man, there one match I was not very proud on, and it was that fucking Jericho Lawler. I don't know why that made no damn sense, but besides that, and besides that kind of moment with Edge cashed in, I got to give it a 10 out of 10 as well, because no matter what match, like, this is the thing about there, you need to have like one very iconic moment that's gonna be remembered forever, or you're gonna have like great matches like down the road. And I'll admit there is some matches that they're not the best, but there's a one moment when Edge cashed in is just basically in the history books forever. I think that alone gives a 10 out of 10. So that's why 10 out of 10. So, yeah.
Okay. AJ?
I give this pay-per-view a solid 9.5 actually. 9.5 out of 10. I did not like that Jerry Lawler and Gregory Helms match. The reason being because I feel like the wrong person won there. And Jerry Lawler didn't need to go to the ring, to be honest, because he had his time and all that stuff. But no offense to Jerry Lawler, he is a legend, and he's still wrestling today. But, like, I don't think he needed to go to the ring at the WWE again. But definitely that was the one thing I didn't like about the show. But overall, the show was good. Like, the rest of the matches, fucking good. Especially that Elimination Chamber match and the WWE Championship cash-in. Great pay-per-view. And I feel like WWE should do this more often now because, like, with everything going on, like, barely no storytelling, no storylines, no rivalries, no nothing. It's just a bunch of PG bullshit, and it's just, oh god, and the storylines are corny as fuck. So please, WWE, take note, like, from your old school days. Come on, bring back, like, I don't care. All right, don't. There are some things I don't want to bring them to bring back, but there are some I want. Like, God, it's so hard to not watch WWE now because it's ridiculous. I just want WWE to do it again because they're a fucking big company and it's just this is gonna waste people time. But hopefully WWE gets better in the future and really take note of this. But
I mean, now you have the Forbidden Door open now. Maybe some things can also happen as well. And with that also, I definitely agree. Brock Payne's a iffy on with that, but I will definitely bring back the blood, like bring back more blood. I'll say that because I feel like that brings like the emotion and violence that we know back then. And I just feel like, no matter if it's blading or real blood or anything like that, bring like the actual violence back. You know what I'm saying?
I would bring back like not super scripted promos. That's the main problem. The scripted fucking promos, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, that too.
All right. Anyways, I'm done with this pay-per-view. Great pay-per-view. Recommend it. Go watch it.
It's to the outros. Thank you all for watching this episode of the Crash and Burn podcast where we reviewed the New Year's Revolution 2006. We hope you all enjoyed. Our next episode we got an interview coming up. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Shout out to Matt Morrison. That's gonna be our next interview, guys.
That's right, and for the Moshcast, you can check that out too, especially for Cinematic Analysis.
Yes.
And here too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. AJ, go ahead since you have some novels.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of the Crash and Fucking Burned Wrestling Podcast. And hope you guys enjoyed this review of the pay-per-view. I really recommend everyone watching this pay-per-view, especially if you want to watch some old school WWE pay-per-views. Definitely recommend watching this. So, hopefully I see you guys very soon, and have a great day, y'all.
Blake?
And the Last Warriors out.
Blake, go ahead.
Okay. Thanks for watching another episode of the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast, the greatest podcast I've ever been to in my whole entire life. And actually, please follow or subscribe in all social media platforms. And please watch this pay-per-view if you haven't. There's always time to go watch it. When you have the time, go watch the pay-per-view. And, basically.
Please show up more, Blake. We need you, man.
Oh, yeah, well, it's because, y'all start at, you guys start at 5 for my time. And that's when I'm, doing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
go right ahead. Oh.
Start a little bit later. I could probably join.
Okay.
Lucas, go right ahead.
Yeah, surprised I saw Blake there. I haven't seen that man in a while. But yeah, you guys to watch this episode of Crash and Burn. Feels good to be back on track now. And yesterday wasn't the best. I had a lot of shit going on that day, and yeah. So I want to apologize for my anger coming out yesterday. I know that was not me, and that I sometimes shit bottle up sometimes, and mine explodes. But I'm good now. So just want to put it out there.
Kids.
I'm looking at you. Anyways, for me, thank you guys for watching this episode. Should be on the next one, hopefully. And that's all I gotta say. Check me out on Moshcast, Cinematic Analysis. I probably will not be on Cinematic Analysis because I'm just busy with my shit right now. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. So yeah.
Wyatt.
Thank you all for another great episode of Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. Please comment below what you all thought of this pay-per-view. Stay tuned for our next episodes next week, as we will be having as we see indie star Max Morrison come on next Friday, and next Saturday we'll be reviewing another Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view as we will continue completing all the manias as we will be doing WrestleMania 23. So definitely stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to all podcasts, follow everybody on their socials, follow all our friends on their socials.
Yep, do all that stuff.
Wear your mask, stay safe,
Be safe out there.
don't do drugs, and
Stay in school, kid.
take your vitamins and
Drink your
cereal.
milk.
So, next person may go, as my person is going to bed after this episode.
All right, Josh, go right ahead.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for watching the fastest rising podcast in all of professional wrestling, the one and only Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed our review of New Year's Resolution 2006. If I said that right, yes, I did. Otherwise, I don't know. I must be fucking in some other universe. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment, do all that fun stuff. Also, don't forget to stay tuned for our interview with Max Morrison coming up soon. Stay tuned, be subscribed, follow everybody on their socials, do all that fun stuff. Tell us what you guys thought of the pay-per-view if you watched it. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out, everybody.
Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Crash and burn!